Alexa, go Bills.
Go Bills.
Getting ready for football on a Sunday or a Monday or a Thursday or a Friday if you're in Brazil, it's got to be kind of a long routine here in my basement. You know, from turning all the lights on and getting it set up for everybody to come over, because football has become a pretty big part of, you know, my life and my community. You know, I have all sorts of friends and family come over. You have your usuals, but then you have, you know, some one-offs and friends coming over. Watching football in the basement has become an experience. It's not just watching football. We got the smart lights set up. We got the neon lights set up. You know, there's music that plays. It is, I'd say, the next best thing, or depending on how you look at it, it's like watching football in the stadium. My dad and his siblings, he has a lot of siblings, and when they got older, there was some jokes made about people and being animals, and it kind of spurned this whole giving animal names to people. And I found, having 5 kids of my own now, that if you watch your kids, your toddlers, you know, you'll start seeing that they have some qualities that are like an animal, you know. Me, I am, will probably always be a little bit bigger, a little bit burlier. So my parents made me a buffalo. So as you can imagine, Midwest sports, my dad watched Kansas City, and here's me, probably still in diapers, and I'm a buffalo, and there's a team called the Buffalo Bills. And that's all it took for me. Not everybody finds their fandom the same way, but I can't imagine that anybody else found their fandom the same way I did. And I have been literally collecting Bills memorabilia and stuff since then. I have signs, I have hats, I have clothes from whenever I was a kid. Still, there's actually a Jim Kelly poster right up above me that I've had since I think I was 12. There is a emblem on my truck that I've had since I was probably 14 or 15. And, you know, being a fan isn't having memorabilia or having stuff. That's just one of the symptoms of a fan. You know, you're going to collect, you're going to get stuff, you're going to get signed jerseys, you're going to show your team in any way you can. But the biggest part of being a fan is how you show your fandom and how people see you in your fandom. And never once have I shied away from being a Buffalo Bills fan in, you know, Chiefs country. And now I actually have a wife and 5 kids who are all Buffalo Bills fans. I always made the joke that I had so many kids just so I'd have other Bills fans around me. And they're all, most of them are diehard, and some of them are not so diehard. But they all love the Buffalo Bills. They all wear their stuff. They wear it to school, and the schools, they have Red Fridays for the Chiefs, and they wear red and blue. They wear their Bills colors. I think that's how you have your fandom. And I think also I've almost talked people into being Bills fans here in Missouri. My dad even said last year during the playoffs that, you know, he almost found himself rooting for the Bills more than he was the Chiefs. And that's just how big of a fan I am. You know, I try to make it fun for everybody, and then my passion for it is contagious. It leaks over to other people, and they feel it, and they, you know, you talk to anybody, and they want to see the Bills get a ring, and it's long overdue.
All right, so I'm here to help my buddy become NFL Fan of the Year, and I think he deserves it because, first of all, he's a Bills fan. So he's a proud fan. He tells everyone everywhere that he's part of the Bills Mafia, probably a founding member. I don't know. I'm not a Bills fan. I don't know their history. All I know is that the Bills were formed in 1960. He's probably been a fan since 1975. And he didn't have to be a Bills fan. He's not from New York. He doesn't have family in New York. He doesn't know anybody on the team. He's not a legacy fan. Just something about that team got a hold of him, and it's had a hold of him ever since. And as you can see around me, it's real love. Like, he spends a lot of his money to buy Bills stuff to support them, however buying gear for your team supports them. He does it all. And he loves all the players. I'm 40 years old. I've been an NFL fan for 30 years. I've been around a lot of people who say they love their team, but I haven't seen anyone who loves their team to the level that Patrick Kimmell loves the Buffalo Bills. So if that's not a fan of the year, I don't know what is.
So here's the thing about Patrick. Deep here in the roots of Kansas City, middle of Blue Springs, Missouri, there are lots of fans. Lots of fans of many types of football teams. But there is one Bills fan that, in my opinion, is the number one Bills fan of all. One that is slowly turning other fans into Bills fans. One that is bringing the Bills community together, far away from Buffalo. And just like that, I'm a Bills fan. I don't know how it happened. I hung around with the number one Bills fan so much, I turned into one myself. Here in Kansas City. And I am rooting for the Bills because the number one fan in the United States converted me. That's the biggest reason I can tell you he's the number one Bills fan. I mean, there is none other like Patrick Kimmell. He is such a Bills fan that he promised when the Bills win the Super Bowl this season, he's going to get a matching Bills tattoo with me.
Hey there. I never said I'd get a tattoo. Just putting that out there.
My name's Chad Smith, and I'm here to tell you why Patrick Kimmell, one of my very best friends, is the NFL Fan of the Year. I've never in my life met someone who supports, loves, eats, breathes, and dies with his team, which is the Buffalo Bills. We're from KC here. We've got the Chiefs. And as much as I've tried to convert him over to be a Chiefs fan, he has done the same with all of us, try to become Buffalo Bills fans. They've got a Buffalo Bills flag out front of their house that flies 365 days out of the year. So if you want to pick the best NFL fan of anybody on any team, Patrick Kimmell and the Kimmell family, Buffalo Bills, they get my vote, number one.
My husband, Patrick Kimmell, has dedicated his life into helping others, his friends, his family, and even random strangers. He would give the shirt off of his back if he knew that it would help someone. That's why I would love nothing more for him to win Fan of the Year this year. His biggest and most wildest dreams are wrapped around football and the Buffalo Bills. He would love nothing more to meet players and go to more games, but he's consistently and constantly working for our family, and he doesn't have the chance. Looking at the past, I would have never thought that he could have gotten to be a bigger and better football and Buffalo Bills fan, but overall, he is trying to learn about all the teams and all the players. Him and his friends had a football podcast a while back and even got to interview Reed Ferguson. Not only has Patrick been a lifelong Buffalo Bills fan, but in the midst of being in Chiefs territory, which has only gotten more intense the last couple of years with their rivalry. Our family doesn't shy away from wearing Bills gear on the daily and on Red Fridays to school and the gym. It only took him 39 years to make it to Buffalo, but we got to go to the Cowboys and Bills game at home last year. And unfortunately, we couldn't take the kids, so that's a short-term future goal for us. We loved the atmosphere and being able to be part of the Bills family in person instead of a sea of red here in Kansas City. He has taught me and all 5 of our kids not only to love football, but to love the Buffalo Bills. It's a very, very big understatement that we love the Buffalo Bills. To the point where our last son, our 5th child's name is Ryan Allen, after 2 of our favorite players, Josh Allen and Ryan Fitzpatrick. So please consider making some of his dreams come true and honor the great guy that he is by making him the Fan of the Year. Thank you.
Oh, did I say he has no tattoos currently?
There's always a chance. Just got to win that Super Bowl first.